Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're staying warm and dry out there today. It's another rainy day here in Red Deer, Alberta, and that's summer in or summer in Canada here. So let's get right into today's video here. So today I wanted to talk about objection handling. It is one of the biggest problems in sales for business owners is handling objections. There is piles of information online about how to handle objections. So I wanted to share my simple 6-step framework that has been taught to me over the years that has been super effective. And so I want to share that with you. If you're having any issues with sales and how to handle objections, make sure to check this out. This will be very short and sweet, and we'll get into it here. And so right out of the gates, like objections, they're not a sign of rejection. Like they're a sign that your prospect wants more information and that they want to know that they made the right decision and they want to feel good about it. And so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write out the top 5 objections that you're hearing regularly. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to write out some rebuttals for that. And so, like I've said in other videos, I am a big believer in scripts. And when it comes to scripts, you need to practice them with your mom, your dad, your brother, your wife, your sister, your uncle, your friend. It doesn't matter who, but because you need to have this stuff wrapped up tight. Like it needs to come off your tongue naturally every single time. Because if you're sputtering all over yourself trying to figure it out, you don't come off as confident, for one, and people just aren't going to trust you. So list off your top 5 objections, lots of practice, so it just comes off the tongue there. So number 1 is to listen. This is the most important, almost the most important part. I've done this myself in the past where somebody starts to object and it's like, man, what is going on here? Like this is going to help this person. What's the problem here? So, but you need to listen to what they're saying because the more you understand and listen to them, the easier it's going to be for you to help them. And that's probably why they're sitting in front of you in the first place, because they need help with something. So step 1 is listen. Now, number 2 is you need to say it back to the prospect in the form of a question to make sure that you understand. And so like an example of that might be like somebody might say, well, I think I need more time to think about it. It's like, okay, Mr. Customer, so tell me, how much time do you actually need to sit with that before you come to a decision? And so get the answer out of them. A lot of people would just walk away at that point. It's like, okay, well, let's touch base in a couple weeks and see what's happening. But no, let's try to figure out what the root cause of the objection is. And so make sure that we understand it. And so number 3 is to actually explore the reasoning to make sure that you understand the real reason. Like oftentimes the first objection isn't the real one. Like if money is an issue, they will usually lead with a different objection. So I guess going back to my last example here. So if they're saying like, so how much time do you actually need? It's like, well, I need probably like a few days to maybe like look over my finances. Okay, well, I understand that finances can be an issue. So like how much time do you actually need to get that figured out? And then they'll kind of tell you, it's like, oh, I need a few days. It's like, okay, well, yeah, like you could probably do that in a couple minutes here anyways. Like, is there something else that's kind of holding you back from doing this, and kind of probing to find out if there's something else that's kind of holding them back from doing that. So once you figure out what the real objection is, and you might have to do a couple different types of probing questions, like say it back to them in the form of a question. You might have to go back to step 2, explore the reasoning in step 3. And then number 4 is actually answering the objection once you understand it completely, and do your best to alleviate the fear that they have. So step 4 is, this is the time where you're going to use hard facts. Like if you have testimonials or like price sheets or fact sheets about the product that you sell, this is the time that you use it. Like maintenance costs, stuff like that. You might even use the age old tested and true, the feel, felt, found. It's like we had a client who felt the same way as you, and what he found is that when we ABC'd, then he was actually quite happy with the process. And so feel, felt, found can be used at that point. It can actually work pretty good, or using client testimonials. So now number 5 is to actually confirm with the prospect that that you have alleviated their concern, or is there something else? So if there is something else, you want to circle back to number 2, come back to them and say the objection in the form of a question, and make sure that you understand it. But if there is no further objection, now it's time to close again. So if there's nothing else, Mr. Customer, how would you like to pay for that today? Would that be cash or credit? And so probably one of the things that even I've done in the past, that I got over, thank God, was actually coming back to the close. A lot of people can handle the objection, but they don't come back to actually asking for the money at the end. So this is ultimately what it comes down to at the end, is you're trying to close the sale at that time. So make sure that you come back to that close at the end. How would you like to pay for that today? And sometimes they might raise another objection. And you might get 3 or 4 or 5 of these objections until you find the real one. So keep going back through this framework. So if you have written down the top 5 objections, you're probably going to cover everything that most people are going to come to you with. But if you have that memorized, you can come off the top of your head with that stuff in the exact same way every single time. I guarantee that you will increase your closing and increase your bank account. So if you are a business that's looking to scale and looking to grow, but you're not 100% sure how to do it, I want you to go to timetoscale.net and let's chat. I'd love to hear a little bit more about your business, what you're doing, where you're trying to get to, and see if what we do is a great fit to help you get to that next level. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.